What's up everyone, it's my Chua and welcome back to my channel. I am back today with another reading vlog on this book called Ricochet by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So this is the second book of the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series, and we are again following some more Lily and Lo. If you haven't already, I did make a reading vlog on Addicted to You, which is the first book, and I will link that above. I believe it's on this corner, and so definitely check out that vlog before you watch this video because there will be spoilers from the first book as well. Just a little recap, at the end of book 1 we find out that Lily and Lo will be separated for a period of time. That is because Lo finally decided to seek professional help for his addiction. So our two main characters are currently separated, and I'm hoping that in this book we'll see them together again. I am so excited to continue with Lily and Lo's story. So without further ado, let's jump right into this book. I'm flipping through the book, and wow, I like this flower petal thing art design going on here. Isn't it so pretty and purple? Like, wow, this is a masterpiece. Already I'm impressed, okay? So nothing too crazy going on yet, right? But Lily and Daisy are at this house party, right? And they are surrounded by like all of these models and whatever. This is like, I believe, 1 week after Lo is sent off to rehab. Lily currently has no communication with Lo, right? And so when they're at this party, she's trying to avoid making any mistakes, avoid being attracted to anybody else. She's in this bathroom and she's imagining herself and Lo at the theaters, right? And so she's kind of like masturbating or whatever. Rike is currently looking for Lily and he's trying to prevent her from doing anything that she would regret, right? So he's banging on the bathroom door, and Lily, while she's in shock, she just says, "I'm coming," right? And Rike is just like, "I hope not." Rike just said to Lily, "You think more perverted things than any fucking guy I know." And she's like, guilty. Oh, so this excerpt, right, it says, "Even when I was a kid, Lo would put his hands on my cheeks and kiss me really quickly, and we'd burst into laughter afterwards. He'd end up chasing me through the fancy parties that our parents brought us to, trying to steal another, and I'd always let him catch me." Oh, that's so cute. This is another reason why I love Friends to Lovers. Okay, so I'm just 2 chapters in, and I think this is a good stopping point for me because chapter 3 is like 30 pages long, and so I will pick this up again tomorrow. Okay, so it is a new day and I am ready to dive into chapter 3. There is this whole scene going on, but I wanted to read the whole thing before I actually talk about it in case I missed something important. Alright, so I'm not exactly sure, but I believe that is all to the scene that I was talking about earlier. So pretty much what had happened was that Daisy was drugged at this party, right? And so she starts acting a little bit off, and then she eventually faints. And so Rike and Lily had to kind of take her to the hospital. So something we learned about Daisy is that she is often very rebellious at times, right? And we learned that she does this to get like attention, and she's usually doing things that she knows her parents don't agree with. So there's this line that Daisy had said where she's like, "I am this 15-year-old model and a lot of people look up to me like I am very mature, yet nobody is giving me the right to make my own decisions," right? And so of course, with her being only 15, she can't legally do things without her parents being involved, right? And so she's currently at this stage where she wants to do things freely, but she can't, and that might be the reason why she's like often rebellious. We also see that Rike and Daisy, I guess they've never really had an interaction before this night. They don't necessarily get along in the beginning, right? But because of this incident with Daisy getting drugged, construct, and right being there, he has this sense of being protective, right? And so we see this throughout those chapters, and we see that there is some tension going on. And so I am excited for their book, to be honest. We know Lily is living with Rose currently, right? And they go to Princeton together, and Rose is with Connor. Okay, so at the end of book 1, we kind of knew that they had something going, but I guess I didn't get the impression that they were official, but this book confirms that they are seeing each other, that they are dating each other. We do see Rose and Connor's banter in this chapter, and it is just so cute. I mean, they like say the most smart things towards each other, and I guess they always kind of want to outsmart each other. So there's this one line in here where Rose is like, "You want to know how many times a day I question why I'm with you?" And Connor is just like, 5 times. She says 100. And then he says, "If you told me you're going to exaggerate, I would have picked that, but I thought we were being realistic here, hun." I guess Rose and Connor also have this toxic relationship because according to Lily, they have broken up like 5 times within a month. Obviously, Rose is more of the serious sister, right? And we see that Connor loves to push her buttons. He loves to make her blush. So there's this line in here where he's kind of teasing her. It says, "He grins back, and I swear they have another moment. Rose looks like she wants to rip his face off, and Connor looking like he wants to kiss her forehead." So weird. So at this point, we see a lot of Lily thinking about Lo, right? We see a lot of her flashing back to the times where they were together and all of these moments that they shared together, okay? And so even at this point, I feel like I am missing Lo so much too, because we don't see him and her interactions in these first few chapters. I don't even know if he comes back in the book or not, to be very honest. But because Lily misses him dearly, it makes you also as the reader miss him a lot too. I just finished chapter 3. That was a long ass chapter, and so I am going to continue chapter 4 whenever I can. But this book is actually only like 250 pages or so. I don't know, this reading vlog might be a little bit shorter, possibly, but I will continue on when I can. All right, so you wouldn't have known, but it's been a minute since I picked up this book again, right? It's been like a solid 2 weeks since the last time I've talked about this book and today, right? And so I did get through to chapter 7, and I am going to continue, but I wanted to kind of give an update on what had happened between those chapters. And so I have been sick for a solid week, and that's why I haven't been filming. Like, my voice and everything sounds a little different if you can't tell. In between these chapters, we see that there's this whole like formal event going on, right? And it is to congratulate their father and his soda business or company or whatever, right? And so all of the girls or all of the sisters do have to attend this event. And during this event, we see that their mother had actually set up blind dates for all of them, right? All of them except for Poppy. So we see that the sisters are obviously not happy about this, and especially Rose is offended, okay? So we see that Rose has this resentment towards her mother, right? And she gets compared to her mom a lot, saying that she's very similar to her mom. And so at this event, they do go at it, and things do get very ugly, okay? So pretty much Rose is just like, "I don't know why you're trying to control my life. I don't know why you keep insisting that I need a man in my life when I really don't. You know, I don't need to depend on nobody but myself." So my thoughts currently about this book, like I do know that this is a filler book, right? So we don't really see the progression of Lily and Lo's relationship yet. I'm only like halfway through, but I don't believe Lo actually comes back in this book. I'm not sure if he does, but I don't think he does. I do appreciate the flashbacks in this book, right? Because as we know, in the first book, things progress pretty fast. Well, I thought that they did. Like, throughout half of the book, they were already together, and we didn't really see, like, the buildup of their relationship before that. And so we get some of that in this book, and I am just saying I appreciate that. I see all of the tension and things, all of the events or all of the scenes from the past that made up their whole relationship, right? And so I am enjoying this book so far, and I honestly, just at this point, I cannot wait for Lo to come back, but he probably won't come back until the next book, I'm thinking, but we will see how things go. So I finally finished this book right here. Okay, so this is going to be my last update, and I hate that I am giving you like 5 different updates on 5 different days. Like, I wish I can just have one solid day to film a whole reading vlog, but obviously life gets busy, things happen. And so anyways, this book, like I've said before, I do feel like this is a filler book, but I do really appreciate the things that they showed in this book. Okay, also in this book we do see a little bit of Reich and Daisy. Okay, so from the first book, Addicted to You, I feel like we barely even saw Daisy at all, right? And obviously our characters were introduced in there, but we never really saw the interaction between Reich and Daisy, and I am getting a lot more of them in this book. From the beginning, we see that Lily and Reich didn't really get along, right? But in this book, I feel like their relationship does evolve a little bit more, okay? And Reich is there more, he's understanding Lily more, and Lily is appreciating his presence a little bit more because he's there to help not just Lo, but he's also there for Lily as well. I've said this before, but Lo does not really make an appearance in this book, okay? So he is still currently in rehab, but there was like a scene or two where he was involved. By the end of this book, we do see that Lily has opened up a lot to Rose, okay? And Rose has been showing up as an older sister. She's been trying her best to get her sister back on track. Lily is starting her road to recovery, okay? So she's seeing this therapist. She's working very closely with this doctor. She's starting to discover things about herself and like maybe trauma that she may have had in the past that had led her up to this point, okay? So I am extremely excited for Lily and Lo's relationship. I cannot wait until they both finally reunite and work things out. Back to Daisy and Reich, okay? So we do see the interactions in this book, but I wouldn't say personally that it's anything beyond like friendship, okay? I wouldn't necessarily say it's anything beyond like looking out for each other. But obviously, because we are in Lily's point of view, we don't know if anything has happened between them yet at this point. So I guess we will see when we get to their book. So like I've said before, this is a filler book, but I do feel that it was very much needed, okay, to understand more about Lily and Lo's relationship. And at this point, I don't know how to rate this book. Like, I don't know how to rate novellas. I don't know how to rate like filler books. Like, sometimes they're just not needed at all, but I do feel like this one was needed, okay? Like, for series in general, if they are following the same person and they have several books, I feel like I need to get through all of the books first to truly give them a fair rating, right? And so at this point, I think I'm just gonna rate this one 4 stars like I did with the first book. But yeah, that is all I have to say about this book, and I am definitely excited for Lo to come back in the next book. Okay, so the next one is Addicted for Now, and we actually do have the first chapter as a bonus scene at the end of this book, but I decided not to read it because obviously I wanted to film a whole separate vlog for that book, right? Actually, I think in the next book we do get Lo's point of view as well, so I am extremely excited to be in his mind, to know all about his thoughts, right? And so with that said, thank you so much for being here if you made it this far, and I will see you in the next reading vlog. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.